Hello everyone, and Merry Christmas. As you can see, I have a beautiful Christmas tree in the background, and the holidays just happened, except for New Year's, which is coming up. So I just wanted to say Merry Christmas at the beginning of this vlog. And now on to the main event. In today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about something that I had to overcome when I was first diagnosed with diabetes, and that was being afraid of needles. I distinctly remember that on the way to the doctor's office, I asked my mom over and over and over, "We're not getting a shot today, right, Mom? I'm not here for a shot. They're not going to give me a shot, right, Mom?" Over and over and over. And she kept telling me, no, this is just a checkup. You're going to be fine. There's no shots. Don't worry about it. But turns out I got diabetes and I had to have shots for the rest of my life. Woo! So when I was in the hospital and then when I got home shortly after being diagnosed, I could not give my own shots. I couldn't check my own blood sugar. I was so afraid of needles. It would always be a nurse or my mom or my dad who would give me my shots and no one else. Plus, whenever they did give me shots, I would cry every time. Every finger poke, every shot, no matter what, I would cry. It hurt really bad to me then, and I would just cry, and it was awful. Now, obviously, if you're a diabetic and you were my age, like 11, it's important that you learn how to give your own shots because, you're not always going to be with your parents or with someone else who can give it to you. So to help me learn how to give my own shots, I actually went to counseling. I think a little bit of the counseling was probably also just to help me deal with the fact that I now had a lifelong illness, diabetes, that would last my whole life unless it was cured. And, that's a big change and a big struggle and a big adjustment. And so I think that was also part of it. But also, I really just needed to learn how to give my own shots. We actually ended up finding a counselor who was a diabetic herself. And so that was really cool. And so she knew totally what I was going through. And what we did was a step-by-step process to help me get used to giving my own shots. And then as I accomplished each step, I could pick a reward to get in return. The very first thing the counselor had us do was she had my mom put needles just like around the house, closed needles of course, but just around the house in random places so that I would get used to seeing them and get used to their presence just being around. And so I'd become more comfortable with them. And I actually don't even remember really seeing them around, but I guess my mom did this. And so it must have subconsciously put in my mind that these are okay, these are normal and common things. So I remember one of the steps was just drawing up the insulin from the vial into the needle, and then another step would be pushing in the insulin after my mom had already put in the needle, or another step would be pinching the skin while my mom put in the needle. And then the final big step that was the hardest thing to do was to put the actual needle in. And so this one took a lot of work. I can still see that night in my mind when I gave my first shot so clearly. I was sitting on the couch with my mom, and I really felt that I was at the point where I could give my own shot. And I really wanted to, but I still hadn't done it yet, and I was just it was really hard for me. So I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting there. I was going to do it in my leg, so I was pinching the part of my leg, and I had the needle, and I was going to do it, and then I couldn't do it. And so my mom, she got her own needle, and she showed me how to do it again, and she did it on her own leg. And she was you can do it, and she was totally encouraging me the whole time. And finally I did it, and I put the needle in, and I pushed in the insulin, and we were so excited. And it was a really great moment because that was a big step for me. I think for me, one of the reasons that giving my own shot was such a struggle is because I just had a mental block in it. I don't want to hurt myself, and I see this needle and I see my skin, and I'm I don't want to put that into me. I know it's going to hurt a little bit. Back then it hurt a lot, actually. So it's that mental block of part of you is saying no, you don't want to hurt yourself, and another part of you is but you need the insulin, put it in. And so it's a struggle just to actually physically move your hand and put a needle into your leg. Some of my rewards up to that point were fun activities like Chuck E. Cheese, some other fun places to go, but the big prize for giving my actual shot all by myself, drawing it up, pinching it, putting the needle in, pushing the insulin in, was I got to redecorate my entire room. And so that was really exciting and really fun, and I think that was a great way to help me get used to it. And of course, the counselor also talked with me about stuff, talked me through different things, and really helped me adjust to being a diabetic. So now I give my own shots, I put in my own sets, I check my own blood sugar, I do everything for my diabetes management, and it was really, really hard to overcome the fear of needles, but now I am completely independent and it's awesome. Occasionally, nowadays, I still get that mental block sometimes when I'm trying to put in my set because I use an inserter, and sometimes when you squeeze the sides, it doesn't quite go all the way. And if you want to see me change my set, I'll put the video link here. But sometimes it doesn't quite go all the way, and so my mind starts just like telling myself like, oh, it's gonna hurt, and I start like panicking a little bit, and I'm like, it's not going in, and so it gives my brain a chance to think about what's happening and to think and like stop myself from doing it. So what I find that helps is I just distract myself, and it totally works. So I'll start singing a little bit of a song, I'll look at the TV, I'll talk to someone else, whatever it takes to get my mind off what I'm doing. That's enough for my brain just to relax, and I can just put it in no problem. So those are some of the tricks that I used when I was first diagnosed to help me get over the fear of needles and to learn how to give my own shot. And so maybe if you're a new diagnosis and you're just learning how to do needles, I hope this was helpful to you in some way. Please leave down below your story, and if you had trouble adjusting to the whole needle thing, whether you were just diagnosed or you've been diagnosed 10 years ago, I'd really love to hear your story too. So please comment down below, thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, guys. Bye.